VV Ultimatum is a good game, one that you should definitely play. It's a Bleach game with parry-based combat, so if you're just sick of parry-based combat or you don't like Bleach, then avoid the game, I guess. The rest of this video is just going to be talking about progression and my experience with it. Finally past the low bar of hollow progression being ass, and now it's bearable in this game. Off rip, you have 4 hollow forms that you can start with. Centipede, turtle, monkey, I think, and lizard. I ended up picking lizard. But all of these forms only impact your hollow progression, not anything on the Arankar side. So you got your fishbone, which is your basic hollow. You go around killing other hollows until you evolve into a Manos. Manos progression is easy and not tedious and not boring and not permadeath slop. Or not permadeath slop, but just hardcore. The requirements for Manos is to walk around and destroy 60 objects and kill 8 hollows. Easy. You naturally destroy objects by just walking around, and killing 8 hollows isn't hard since you have a whole lot of damage and a whole lot of health. And guess what? These devs take mercy on you. They give you noob protection so a higher level player can't hit you, and all the new players can all farm 1 NPC. Once you complete your Manos progression, you evolve into an Ajuchas, which is kind of the same as a fishbone, but now you have a Cero and your model's different, on top of you now being able to gain mutations. Once you're in Ajuchas, you can rip your mask off to become a Arankar, or an Ajukar, my bad. Now, I've heard you can go Vastakar even as an Arankar. I don't know how, though. For Vasta progression, you get 70 points. But to get 70 points, you need to kill hollows, and some hollows can range from 0 points to 2 points. The most consistent method I found was just to kill centipede hollows, because they give 2 points consistently. They're not that annoying to fight. Once you evolve to a Vasto, you get your skill tree and you get another mutation slot. A mutation only affects your hollow form and your resurrection. For example, Deadly Claws. It's a mutation you can get from I don't know what hollow, but it gives you 3% more Hakata damage, 0.1% AP, and turns your blunt attacks into sharp attacks. Now, I wish some mutations would still affect you in your Arankar form, like Innocuous Presence. Or maybe some mutations' effects are halved when you're an Arankar. Side note, but it'd be pretty cool to see true Vasto in this game. Anyways, as it is currently, there's no point to stay Vasto once you've got your mutation, so just rip your mask off and then become an Arankar. Once you turn into an Arankar, you get your resurrection weapon, which is pretty cool. Once you've ripped your mask off, you go grind to level 25, where you can get your resurrection. Resurrection progress is just really boring, because you gotta hit NPCs, get a prompt that shows up on your screen, and when that happens you gotta go meditate. Once you've meditated enough, your hollow will start showing up in the real world. Same conditions as before, hit NPCs enough and it'll just show up, and then you gotta talk to it enough. And then it'll let you into your inner world to fight it. Once you're inside your inner world, which is just Sukuna's domain, you have to go through a boss fight. Phase 1 is just a normal fishbone, Phase 2 is a Manos, and Phase 3 is an Ajucha. You have to do the entire fight without a health pack, which I think is overkill, mainly because the Manos and the Ajuchas have Ceros, which Ceros are hard to parry because it's more so timing than it is reaction. Like, I wish there was like a little flash to be like, hey, you should parry now, it's about to shoot, because it kind of just like charging, boom, it's there. Now, once you beat the fight, you get your resurrection, but the game doesn't tell you how to use your resurrection. To explain, you have to use control to use your resurrection moves, but I had no idea for the longest time how to use my resurrection moves. Your player progression doesn't just stop once you get your resurrection, you actually have to go progress your resurrection to get your moveset. Which is cool, except the way to progress it is to just spam your abilities. Resurrection progression sucks ass, but you get mastery points once you spam your moves enough, which you can use to change properties of your moves, or add new properties onto your weapons. Anyways, onto PvE, which I think is great. The loop for fighting mobs in parry-based games generally goes as wait, react, attack. NPCs usually break this loop by feinting their attacks or using an attack with no end leg occasionally. There's another way NPCs do this, and that's by hyper-armoring through your swings. Whenever an NPC hyper armors through your swing, it always feels random and it always feels cheap. Like, hey, get hyper armored, nerd. Take random ass damage for no reason. There's also yellow attacks, which weren't explained in the tutorial. But yellow attacks are grab attacks, and the only way to avoid them is to dodge them. But dodging them doesn't feel consistent. Best way to deal with yellow attacks is to just run the other way or hope it doesn't hit you. There's also red attacks, which you're told to do a sword grab on them, which is a separate keybind on your keyboard, but you can just parry them normally. So I don't actually interact with the whole mechanic of red attacks, I just always parry them because parrying them feels more consistent than trying to sword grab. Your player attacks in PvE suck. They have way too much wind-up for you to reasonably use unless you're fighting a humanoid NPC. I'm running a Hakta speed build, so maybe my skills are just slow, but genuinely, when you parry an NPC, you only have enough time to get one M1 off. I also think NPCs move around way too much. They should give NPCs a longer dash cooldown because they're in front of you, now they're on your left, now they're in front of you again, now they're behind you, now they're in your room. It's way too much. We also have raid bosses, who are a complete travesty to fight. And it's not because they have some unfair moves, which they do have unfair moves and unfair things, but it's purely because of the other players. There is no PvP toggle or anything when you're fighting a boss, so 9 times out of 10, when I'm trying to hit the boss, some other jackass hits me, so I can't hit the boss, my swing gets cancelled, and I take unnecessary damage. God forbid the boss gets staggered, because everybody's gonna be on it, nobody's gonna be getting damage, and hope to God nobody uses a keto skill because they're all gonna take 1,000,000 damage. Like, a simple and easy solution would be to just, hey, there's no PvP while the raid boss is here. So that way people can actually get their damage in, get their swings in, so you can actually fight the boss properly without having to deal with other players. And if you really wanted to, just as soon as the boss dies, PvP zone enabled again or something. So that way people don't grab the loot in the safe zone and then just leave the server. Now on to complaints, like I haven't been complaining the entire time, but a PvP toggle. I don't care if you want to say skill issue or it ruins the immersion or whatever. I want to beat my NPCs in peace, right? I don't want to fight other players. Look at Arcane Odyssey, they have a PvP toggle where they put PvP players into PvP servers. I would also rather rip my dick off than do parry-based PvP. Another thing, the party system. Why are we segregating people based on their race in a fucking Roblox game of all things? Like, my friend's a Quincy, my other friend's a Soul Reaper, and I'm a Hollow. We can't play together because we chose different races. That is the stupidest shit I have heard in any game. Then we have the Dangai. It's an event that happens every now and then. It forcefully redirects or teleports into itself, and it's a PvP zone. Now, I have no issue with the fact that it's a PvP zone, all issue with the fact that it forcefully redirects or teleports. I honest to God think that the redirection's only there just so it can catch new players. Then there's the Ninja Quest. I have so many issues with the Ninja Quest. Number 1, the meditation part. By the time I was on this part, I already had my resurrection, so every time I tried to meditate, I would fall asleep. I didn't know what to do. Turns out, I just had to sit there asleep, and it still counted as meditation. Then, we got the second part of the quest, where it tells you to kill aberrant hollows. It doesn't say what an aberrant hollow is, so I went around killing random ass hollows, and then I found out that it's a scorpion hollow. Then we're on the final part of the quest, which is the most annoying. You have to fight 8 enemies that are stronger than or equal to your power level. It specifies enemies. The reason I'm saying this is because the third promotion quest says player, one player that is stronger than or equal to you. So I thought, let me just go fight NPCs. I didn't find a single NPC that counted towards this quest. So I thought, let me look online to see what people have fought. Turns out it is players. They just don't write it down. Why? I don't know. Then there's the fuck-ass animations that play when you spawn in near a player. I don't know why those play. I'm trying to do a run back from boss, but there's a guy near my spawn, so I just stand there awkwardly for a second, pointing at him. The rest of these are nitpicks more than anything else. A vanity tab would be great so I can actually look good while having items that properly support my build. Skywalk ascending and descending should be faster so I don't have to run around in circles to keep my momentum. For quests that make you fight a boss, it should also list when that boss shows up and where it shows up. Because like the Grey Hunter is a boss that I have never found. even though I still have the quest for it. There's how you get the ability to skywalk, which requires you to do parkour, which wouldn't be that bad if it wasn't for the horrible controls. And by horrible controls, I mean space to dash. Space to dash is bad because you can accidentally throw yourself off the parkour section. But now you can change your dash button so it's no longer that big of an issue. To give you an idea on how bad this was, I was screaming Hitler every time I dashed off of the map accidentally. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Like and subscribe and have a good day.